My name is Nathan Carlisle, and I'm 50. I always believed I knew my past, my family, and the man my father was. That belief shattered the day I discovered a hidden letter tucked away in his old study. A letter that changed everything I thought I knew about my life. It all began after my father passed quietly in his sleep. I returned to the family home, a modest house in the suburbs that had been filled with laughter, arguments, and secrets for decades. Walking through the familiar rooms, I felt a mix of nostalgia and grief. The smell of old books, the leather scent of my father's armchair, and the photographs lining the walls. Memories I thought I had buried came rushing back, each one sharper than I remembered. The study was the last room I entered. My father's desk, an imposing mahogany piece, had been left untouched. As I examined it, I noticed a subtle anomaly. The back drawer was slightly misaligned, as if something had been forced into hiding. My curiosity surged, and I carefully opened it. Behind the lining, I found a yellowed envelope addressed to me in my father's precise handwriting. My hands trembled as I opened it. The letter inside was fragile. The ink faded, yet every word carried weight. "Nathan," it began, "if you are reading this, it means I am gone. There are truths you were never meant to know until now." I froze. My father rarely wrote letters, and when he did, they were mundane. Birthdays, minor advice, or trivial reminders. This one was different, urgent, heavy. The letter spoke first of my mother, whom I had loved and admired without question. He revealed that she had kept a secret for decades, one that could change everything I thought I knew about my family. Then came the most shocking revelation. I was not entirely his son, not biologically. He explained that my mother had been adopted, the heir to a family of immense wealth and influence. The bloodline she carried, my bloodline, was tied to fortunes, rivals, and old family feuds I had never imagined existed. My struggles, my mediocrity, the feeling that life had been unfair, all of it was part of a story I had no knowledge of. As I read further, the letter described events I had never known. Secret family meetings, hidden bank accounts, and a network of people who had protected my mother and me from threats I had never even suspected existed. The most shocking revelation came at the end. My father had known all along. He had kept me in ignorance to give me a normal life, free from greed, envy, and danger. He wrote, "I did what I thought was right, Nathan. I gave you the life I could, even if it meant hiding the truth. You are stronger than I ever knew. Do not waste this knowledge on anger or revenge, but on understanding who you really are." I sat in the quiet study, the letter trembling in my hands. For decades, I had believed my father and mother were ordinary people, living ordinary lives. Now I understood that everything I thought normal was just the surface. The love they gave me, the sacrifices they made, were far more profound than I had realized. In the days that followed, I explored the house more thoroughly. Hidden in a compartment under the floorboards of my father's closet, I found another set of letters and photographs that corroborated the story. There were legal documents proving my mother's inheritance, maps of family estates, and correspondence with distant relatives who had long been estranged. The magnitude of what I had discovered was overwhelming. Yet, amidst the shock and disbelief, a sense of peace settled over me. For the first time, I understood that my life had never been ordinary, not in the trivial sense, but in a way that mattered. My parents' choices, their secrecy, and their protection had shaped me into someone resilient, compassionate, and aware. I spent the next weeks connecting the dots of my past, reaching out to distant relatives, and slowly building a picture of the family I had never known. I realized that the real legacy of my parents was not wealth or status. It was their careful, deliberate love, the invisible threads of sacrifice that had guided me without me knowing. And by the time I left the house for the final time, I felt like I had lived a second life within the life I had always known. The hidden letter had not only revealed the truth about my parents, but also about myself, my strength, my lineage, and my capacity for understanding and forgiveness. And in that quiet, sunlit study, with the letter folded back into its envelope, I finally smiled. Not a smile of surprise, anger, or shock, but one of acceptance. I was Nathan Carlisle, son of secrets, son of sacrifices, and now son of the truth. And for the first time, I understood that some truths, no matter how hidden, have the power to heal, not just to reveal. The house was empty, my parents gone, but I left it with a sense of closure I had never imagined possible. Life, I realize, is never as simple as we think, and the past is never as ordinary as it seems. And sometimes a single hidden letter is all it takes to change everything.